Hi folks, it's Yasmin from Tiny Time Big Results, and I wanted to shoot this video before I have to go and pick up my daughter from preschool. And I'm running an implementation session today with my Momentum Circle, and we are planning out what the next 100 days looks like. If you took part in my free mini course that I ran recently, then you'll know the 5 stages that I'm going to be sharing about, but I also want to ask you, if you did do the course, have you taken action on it? Okay, so let me just give you a quick review of what those 5 stages of the program are. And if you want access to the free program, it's a free mini course, I'll post the link below. But essentially, day 1 was all about review. So where have you been so far and how have you got to this point? Day 2 was about recalibrating, so getting you really connected with your big vision about where you want your business to go. Day 3 was about resetting. So what are your 3 big goals for the next 100 days? Now, in the Momentum Circle, we do this planning process every 90 days. But because for this stage, it's 100, roughly, days until the end of the year, what I did was I just kind of said, right, we'll just map it out for 100 days. It kind of had a nice ring to it. So we do this on a regular basis, but we were focusing on, particularly this morning, we were reviewing about what are our 3 big goals for the next 100 days. Then day 4 is about how do you break that down and actually schedule it and say, okay, so in month 1 or, in the first 10 days, in September, October, November, December, this is what I want to have achieved. And then, so that was day 4. And then day 5 was really around recharge. So how do you get the motivation to be able to follow through? Because listen, you can have all the great ideas in the world. You can have the best ideas, the best plans, and then nothing happens if you don't work. And so you've got to be able to set yourself up for success, essentially. So what are some of the rituals that you're going to put into place that will enable you to follow through and hold you accountable? Because that's really important. Otherwise you're just kidding yourself that you think, oh yeah, I'll get it done. You won't. And I know that for myself, my clients. I know, because you've told me as well that, you have great ideas and you don't follow through. So they were the 5 stages. So review, recalibrate, reset, and then recharge. And this is the question that I want you to ask yourself today, because chances are you probably sat down and just started doing, okay? And what I encourage myself to do is to take 5 minutes before I start work and to really anchor myself in that big vision, into what I really want to achieve. Yes, a big vision could be, a year down the line, this is what I want to create. But your big vision has to apply to this day, right now. So what is part of my big vision? So one of my 3 goals is an income goal. So when I'm sitting down and thinking, okay, so what do I need to do to help me to actually achieve that income goal? That's going to inform my decision making. It's going to inform the actions that I take. So that's what I want you to think about today. Is what are your 3 big goals for the next 100 days? And how are you going to measure that? How are you going to break it down? And this is where the distinction between what is a project and what is an action is really powerful, because a project is a big thing. An action is when you break that project down into its component pieces. So, a typical example would be I'm going to work on my website, and that's a project. So an action would be write my About Me page, write my services page, or create my testimonials page. So you break it down into the essential elements of that project. That's what I want you to think about. What are your 3 big goals? And I want you to start breaking them down. And remember, you can get access to the free course. I'll post the link below. And you'll be able to get in. You have to register, enroll, and then you're away with it. And I think you'll find this planning process really useful, because one of the things that you have to focus on when you've got tiny time is you have to be focused about what you're going to try and achieve. And that's why I say 3 big goals. 3 big goals, because if you try and do too much, it'll just all fall apart, and then you'll beat yourself up and you'll give yourself a hard time. Nobody needs that. We don't need to beat ourselves up. I hope that's been useful. Pop your questions and comments and thoughts below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you'd like my help in helping you to implement and follow through and hold you accountable, then book a discovery call, or you can send me an email at support@yasminvoriji.com, and let's talk about what that could look like. All right, my lovelies, I'll talk to you soon.